Mentioned the University of Miami, and these guys have a lot going on in the news. Manny's out. Mario Cristobal is in. Huge contract, long contract. Now we're talking about getting a new AD too. The dude from Clemson. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Radinick or something like that. It's just incredible for me to see all of this happen one after another. So many dominoes falling in like the Hurricanes' direction, because I mean, you know better than I do, dog. I can't remember the last time something like this happened in the program where such a big change and such an investment was being made at the same time. Give me a little bit of your thoughts on that, dog.
I'd like to say, and again, I know what I sound like when I talk Canes. I'm biased.
No,
I'm obviously heavily involved.
No,
I stand by the program. But I am not. Look, I did other podcasts prior to the season, and I like to think I'm honest. I don't put a homer broadcast on for our pregame or our 10 plus hours that we do every college game Saturday. So I'm honest, and I did think going into the season, Manny Diaz was on the hot seat. You just have to be. Even despite going 8-3 last year, despite winning the most games within ACC play that any Hurricane team has done since joining the ACC, there was just a lot to prove this year, and you got off to a rough start. And then the noise got loud, and the national media got involved. And they started to call out this program in ways that they hadn't been called out before. I think there's a huge changing of the guard going down in Coral Gables. I think college football has caught up to University of Miami. I think they've realized that, and credit to them for realizing it. That I think in the past, it was, we are the University of Miami. We are the U. We make coaches. This is a stepping stone to the next level, and we make them get there. You come here. Al Golden came here, and he was like, what do you mean? There's nowhere else to go. This is the University of Miami. Mark Richt fell into their lap. That was a huge, that was just, you hit a lot of with Mark Richt.
That was a big time luck move that they got Mark Richt in the house like that, because they didn't even have to go to, after him too hard. He was willing to leave the program that he was at the time, so it was like a pretty much.
Yeah, he gets dismissed. He gets dismissed by Georgia. He's just sitting at home. Al Golden is obviously let go, and it just, no one expected Georgia to part ways with Mark Richt. He had a ton of success there for years, and then there he is. We need a coach. Mark Richt's there, played here. Just it was a perfect match. It was, you couldn't have asked for more. And then immediate success. 8-4 first year, goes longest winning streak in the nation into year 2, ranked number 2 in the country when you defeat number 13 Virginia Tech, number 7 Notre Dame here at home. Everything's going right, and then the noise gets loud. And this fan base is starving for success. You lose 4 games here, and they will put you on the hot seat. But again, going back to the point that I was trying to make first, is the university, the board of trustees, those involved, the Golden Canes, have realized we are no longer what we used to be, and kids no longer need to stay here. And you need a good recruiter. Not that Manny Diaz wasn't. I think he's an excellent recruiter. But you need to spend money, and you need to have resources, and you need to show the world that you are dedicated to winning, that you are more than just, and what that school has done during the pandemic with the hospital, I mean, top notch from the president, which no one wants to hear, down to everyone involved. But you were lacking some stuff on the University of Miami football program, and they've realized that. And they took it personal when they were called out by Kirk Herbstreit, because it's not true. The University of Miami football program has the funds, has the money, has always had it.
Hold on. You say that they always had it, right? But
always had it.
If that's true, right, then explain to me why we went 20 years, right? Besides the arrogance of thinking, hey, we're the shit, we're the you, we're going to be able to pull whoever we want whenever we want, right? Besides that fact, what else would show like us regular fans, right, who may not know as much about the program to say like, damn, if these guys had all this money, where did it go in that time, right? Because we knew that Al Golden wasn't getting paid much. We knew that Rick wasn't getting paid much. Hell, we even knew Manny wasn't getting paid much. And then all of a sudden, now there's this big influx of cash, available to go get a guy like Mario Cristobal, who's an excellent coach. He makes a ton of sense. He's gonna be amazing down here, right? But you go and you pay his $9 million buyout, and then you're paying this guy $8 million a year too. It's like, okay, where was this 15 years ago? Where was this?
Because you didn't need to pay it. You didn't need to pay it. The guys, it's what I first was alluding to. Guys wanted to come here. It was what Miami is interested in me. Yes, sign me up. I'm there. Don't cancel all my phone calls. Cancel all my meetings. I'm going straight to become the University of Miami head football coach. It wasn't needed. Guys were okay with taking $2, $3, $4 million a year to be the head coach of the University of Miami. It's the reason why everyone wanted to come here, because you're in the hotbed. You're in the state of Miami, the Tri-County area. You're recruiting. If you half-ass recruit, they would come. And then college football changed. And then everybody had a helicopter. And then everybody had a private jet. And then everybody could just take a private helicopter and land right next to St. Thomas University, and you could pull whoever you wanted. And then that pipeline started going to Ohio State. And you were no longer having that stranglehold on what it is, the state of Miami. And college football caught up. But the money's been there, and then they are late to the program. They're like, no, we're still the U. We're still the U. Well, no, things have changed. And we're seeing that with USC. Look at the programs that have won a national title within the last 20 years. It's a handful. It's a handful. When's the last time Notre Dame won a national championship? When's the last time USC won a national championship? Texas, Oklahoma. It's happening to all of them. It's caught up.
Yeah.
And now people are realizing, okay, you really need to treat this like a business. You need to invest like anything in life. And Miami has realized that. So Miami's no longer just holding on to their cash, and realizes if we want to compete, if we want to bring back Mario Cristobal, if we want one of the top recruiters in the country, we're going to have to give him a lot of guarantees. We're going to have to give him time, which is one of the main things he asked for. I don't want to be told when I lose 4 games in year 3 that, oh, Mario's on the hot seat. Mario's not the right coach. There's going to be none of that. There's going to be tons of patience with Mario Cristobal. It's what he asked for. There's a lot of guarantees. There's been a lot of promises. And he didn't come here just because he played here and this is where he was, where he lived. He came here because they met all his demands. And that's what it takes nowadays. Damn. You have to have... What if Michigan would have fired Jim Harbaugh after losing Ohio State year 1? What about year 2, 3, 4, 5?
And right now, Michigan is looking awesome, right? Number 2 in the country. Big win. Now he beats his big rival after everybody was like doubting him and shit like that. And now he's the man. And they will never. And now it looks like they would want to hold him closer to their chest more than ever, And I want to believe in that it's gonna happen with Cristobal, right? But I know that the fans may not be as patient, right, as the board of trustees. And obviously the board is what matters, right? They're the one footing the bill and shit. But for the fans, how do we get them to trust Mario besides the fact that he's a Miami guy, right? Because he had a pretty good record at Oregon. He was 35-13. Didn't do so well at FIU, but it's really hard to do well at FIU when you're competing against big boys down here, and a lot of in-state talent.
Let's not forget at FIU, he's responsible for T.Y. Hilton. I remember there was a Thursday night game against Louisville where they go up there with T.Y. and they took care of their own. He had some moderate success at FIU for what FIU was at the time, and granted, they were much more successful back then when Mario Cristobal and have been or haven't been since Mario left. Even though Butch did beat Miami a couple years ago in 2018, but we don't have to get into that.
No,
but dude, he's the right man for the job at the right time. And look, it is going to take some patience because next year you go to College Station, you go to Texas A&M, and you go to Death Valley and you play Clemson at their place. Those are going to be 2 tough matchups. You go to Blacksburg, they got a new coach with Virginia Tech. I don't know what next year's record's going to be. I anticipate them being a lot more competitive. He's got an outstanding quarterback. He's got the best quarterback in the ACC, bar none.
Facts.
He's got a bunch of freshmen that are playmakers, that are a year older, wiser, not necessarily going to be getting those personal foul calls, penalties. They're not going to be jumping off sides or offensive line who is going to understand the jitters aren't going to be there when the FSU game comes around because it's not their first go around. So I think you'll have some decent success year one. We'll see. I know what Mark Richt did year two, which is getting them to being number 2 in the country. I'm not sure how that will play out, but the schedule does not favor Mario Cristobal within his first 4 years. You have Auburn in there. You have Florida Gators in there. You have Penn State in there. We just mentioned Texas A&M. We mentioned Clemson. You're always going to have the rivalry game against FSU. So there's some tough matchups, but if he's competitive, if he can get some of those wins, then, we'll see what that does for Mario. And you have to give him, it's not even the benefit of the doubt. It's just Mario's a proven winner.
Right.
Mario's done it at the Pac-12. Mario was the number 1 recruit in the country at Alabama. He had success here at FIU. He's been a part of some big teams for Miami. I think we got our guy. And it's not, what I love most about it is it's not a first-time head coach.
Right.
It's a proven winner, someone that's done it from the bottom to the top, starting from FIU and has gone to Oregon and had success over there. Would go into Los Angeles and out-recruit USC, out-recruit UCLA, out-recruit Cali,
Arizona,
Cal.
Arizona State,
So it's,
all those schools.
yeah, he had his way with the state of California, and we are hoping that now that he's closer to home, he can have his way with the state of Florida. And we're not talking. Look, Manny was having success here, but we're talking about the B and C guys from the state of Florida. Those A guys go to Alabama.
Right.
That's well known. So if he can steal some of those guys, and he's already hit the ground running, he's already made contact with a bunch of the recruits. I feel safe saying that Miami's recruiting class will never be ranked in the 50s under Mario Cristobal. So
nice.
We'll see what he can do with his great recruiting, and obviously he's a good coach. So it starts with that.
I think you hit it on the head, bro. If he can hold on to a majority, not even a majority of like the A players, like you said, a majority of those B's and C players from Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County, even Monroe County. We know there's some players down south too, If he can hold on to those guys and just build that wall, like you and I were talking about the other day, you build that wall like Schnellenberger had and say, these are the guys that I'm going to play with because I know these guys and how they come to play this game. Man, he'll have success. He'll have success because we're able to find players. Like we got Van Dyke, we got Jake Garcia. Those are 2 quarterbacks that are really good, have a lot of promise, a lot of talent. Schools would kill to have 2 guys like that in their program right now. Because we see it at places like Alabama, right, where they just constantly have another backup quarterback that they can go to who's going to throw out 350 yards, Vic, before we wrap this up, man, I heard a lot of stuff this morning on the radio, mostly about like a stadium being built in Coral Gables, and in my mind I'm thinking, bro, how the hell are they going to pull that off if US 1 is a tragedy with traffic?
Yeah, it's I think it's all smoke. Look, I don't doubt that they're serious about wanting to make that investment. I don't think it's needed. I think Hard Rock Stadium is I'm lucky enough to have visited quite a few NFL stadiums. I'm lucky enough to have attended a plethora of college football stadiums, and there's no place like home. I'm not saying that because I am from the 305, born and raised, Hialeah, Dade County.
Hialeah, baby.
I know what that sounds like, but I've been to the Coliseum. I've been to, I can go on, and there's just nothing like Hard Rock Stadium. It's just, bar none, it's why the Super Bowls are held here outside of the weather.
Facts.
I've been to them. I've been to MetLife. I've been to Arizona where the Cardinals play. I've been to Levi Stadium. I've been to the pro stadiums. I was at the Super Bowl when Minnesota was there. We were just in Atlanta for the Alabama game. I've seen them. It doesn't compare to Hard Rock Stadium. They just don't. And then that environment, what they're wanting one in Coral Gables for is for that atmosphere, that college football atmosphere. Miami's not that. We're not a college town. We're an event town. So they want Club Lid. They want, the 72 club. They want to be able to drink and sit at a chair like if you're at a bar.
Yeah, like the
Hard Rock Stadium is the perfect place for the city of Miami. And you've seen how loud that place can be. Remember Kirk Herbstreit's message to the college football landscape as Trajan Bandy runs that pick six against Notre Dame? Oh, this is one of the loudest places to play in college football.
Yep.
That was 2017.
Yep.
What about the week prior to that against Virginia Tech? What about 2018 when you're down against 20 to FSU and that place is rocking?
We were there.
I mean, I couldn't hear myself on the sideline. Guys, this place has a home field advantage.
Yeah.
But the product on the field needs to be there. Absolutely. And more than anything, Miami needs to show up. Because next year, all this passion that we have right now for Mario Cristobal, oh, he's coming home. Welcome home. Well, how about you welcome him next year when we play Bethune-Cookman at Hard Rock Stadium? Right, and don't let it be 35,000. Have it be the 64,000. Sell it out. The same thing when Southern Mississippi comes to town. The same thing when Middle Tennessee comes to town. Let's just not do it for FSU. Let's just not do it for Virginia. Let's just not do it for ACC play. Let the world know we're here to support our guy, and we show up week in and week out, whether it's at noon or 3:30, whether it's prime time at 8, whether college game day is here or not. It comes down to us. And at some point, you're going to need to prove, just like what you want Mario to prove it to you, and you think we made the right hire, why don't you prove your fandom? Why don't you prove that you're a real Miami Hurricane fan? It's all about the you. And that's my issue with these. Look, it's a 30,000 diehard fan base. We know that. Miami is. The rest of them go because not all the college students go. The rest go because it's the tailgates and whatnot. But if you want to be what the rest of the college football world is, because I've seen them, they show up for no reason. FSU was they finished 5-6, and they were there for the Miami Hurricanes. Granted, they didn't show up early in the year for Jacksonville State. That might be a bad comparison, but the Swamp shows up week in and week out. Like these guys, like if you want that home field, how long has Nebraska been bad for? And they had
those people put 75,000 people in the stadium on any day of the week.
You need to show up. You need to let the world know that, hey, this is our guy, Mario Cristobal. We are going to show up despite who the opponent is, despite if it's Bethune-Cookman and we're going to run them out the building, despite if it's Savannah State 77-0. Support your guys because you got something special. Yeah, you got a special coach. You got a special quarterback. You had probably one of the best quarterbacks to ever come through the University of Miami. I know what that sounds like, but I think we're about to see something extremely special coming out of Coral Gables via Miami Gardens, because that's where they play, not South Beach.
Nope.
And it should be an exciting year.
I agree, man. And you know what, Vic? You're right. They should do it for Mario, right? And show him what Hurricane fans are about. But more importantly, we got to do it for the U and let the nation know, right? That we got real fans out here. We got real passion. We got real support. And we're behind these kids 120%. You know what I mean? Bro, I can't say enough how much we're excited to have you on, bro. Anytime we have some Hurricanes news breaking or anything like that, we can always count on you to jump on the show and give us some insight, man. I really appreciate you, bro. We're going to let you go so you can enjoy that Bills game. I'm not going to say Bills lost, but I'm just going to say that Bills game, all right?
I appreciate you, my man. Proud of both of you, man. Y'all keep doing big things, bro.
Appreciate you, Vic.
Appreciate you, Vic. Dale, we'll talk soon, brother.